What's going on in the markets today, and how is the crisis in the Middle East impacting that? I am Jamie French with Advent Partners, and I hope to touch on those topics today in this brief market update. The S&P 500, despite recent volatility, is still up over 14% year to date, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up just over 1% year to date. And the disparity between those is largely due to the stocks in which they're invested, the S&P 500 being much more technology stock heavy than the Dow Jones. So it's a good reminder that even within the stock portion of your portfolio to make sure that you are diversified and not investing in a single index or a single asset class. So how is the war between Israel and Hamas impacting things? Well, first of all, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families that have been so deeply impacted by the tragic events over there. And it's a reminder to me of the relative safety and security that we enjoy here in the US, and I'm grateful for that. But it has spurred on questions of whether there's a global recession on the horizon. And so in the past, when we had geopolitical crises such as these arise, there typically is short-term volatility, and there typically is a flight to safety, which means investors are moving money into asset classes that they deem to be safer when things are uncertain. And that's why over the last week, we saw a rally in asset classes such as government bonds, the US dollar, gold, and other precious metals. And we also saw a spike in oil prices as there was a concern about a disruption in the supply chain. But the lessons of history tell us that when these conflicts arise, and this goes back as far as Pearl Harbor and as recently as the war between Russia and Ukraine, if we look out 6 to 12 months past the inception of that, the market remains largely unchanged or somewhat improved. The biggest exception to that being the events of 9/11, which obviously had far more far-reaching implications, particularly within the US. So in times like this, our message is to stick to a disciplined strategy. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you do nothing, but you also don't want to react out of fear or react to the uncertainty. So if you need help with that, I have two suggestions for you. The first is you can contact our office and schedule a time to meet with us where we can review your portfolio and see if any adjustments need to be made. And we'd also like to invite you to our quarterly economic update on November 1st and 2nd, on the 1st in Gettysburg and on the 2nd in Camp Hill. We do a deeper dive into the economic data and its implications on the markets, and we think that'd be helpful for you. So if you'd like to attend those, you can go to our website at www.adventpartnersfp.com, and you can register there. We'd love to see you there, and have a great week.